Street was always a family place. For one, we never locked our doors. If you were late or couldn't pay your rent, you got a rent party thrown for you. And people would donate to help you pay your bills.
I'd go to their house and eat one day, they come to my house and eat another day. We played together up and down the streets every day. Our parents went to work together.
Older people were never isolated and alone. They were always taken care of.
If the kids did something on, let's say, Tiffany Street, Miss Jones on Tiffany Street was calling Miss Mabel on Kelly Street, and they would watch your child. It was very common for the other mothers to spank your kids, too. You know, they would beat your kid's ass if they saw their kid doing something wrong. And then you would go home and tell, and you would get another one because that's just the way it was. It was a village.
This is really important. Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people. But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in black communities, even though black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities. And as I've said before, as a result of this, black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses. Once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit from the community. Because usually people open businesses in their own communities, and this is mutually beneficial, where the business owner is making a livelihood off of providing goods and services to their community, and by being a member of the community, they're contributing and they're investing back into the community. This is an ideal situation, and that is not what happens with Asian American businesses operating in black communities.
Shalom. Call halal, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving all praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers and elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful lake scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. And real quick, man, this is a quick video in the spirit, and I just want to touch on the fact that the most hated people on the face of the earth are the Israelites, and that starts with the tribe of Judah. Okay, who they call black people or black Americans. These are the most hated people on the face of the earth, which is the head tribe of the children of Israel. And, you just see how crafty these devils have been in keeping Jake at the bottom. All right, let's read some of this post, and I'm going to grab a few more posts, and we'll grab a few precepts. But, long story short, this just shows the hatred, okay, the hatred that not only Esau, but all these nations have against Jake. It says, she's right about the white folks she's right. The white folks did not want the Chinese and Asians to open businesses in their community, so they exploited the black community, made millions of dollars from the black community, never invested in the community, and they also practiced racism and anti-black. And it was the black community who made Asians rich. Today we are doing the same thing for the Arabs, right? And all these nations come over here and they benefit off of Jake, off of the Israelites. It says, 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10. It says, what nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? So what nation? All these nations have benefited off of us in one way, form, or another. They all have gotten of our spoils. They all have, gotten rich off of us. And to this day, they get rich off of us with the weave stores, the damn bodegas, the goddamn, the nail salons. Okay, you name it. Okay, the African hair stores, you name it. They're all making money and get rich off of Jake. And Jake can't build a community, can't build a business up in their own communities because of, this racist system that we are in. Okay, which racism is systematic. It keeps us systematically at the bottom. This is a quote from Malcolm X. It says, go into Japanese neighborhoods, you don't see Negro stores. Go into China towns, you don't see Negro stores. Go into Jew town, you don't see Negro stores. But come up here in black town, come up here in a black town, and every kind of store is here but yours. All right, and this is done systematically, as you just saw the woman, discussed in the video. All right, this is all done systematically to keep Jake at the bottom. Look right here. It says median household income in the United States by ethnic group. At the top, you see Indian Americans, which really is, the and ironically, you don't see them on here, the Jewish people. Okay, you don't see them on here, but they're the really ones at the top. But they're not going to put themselves at the top. But then at the bottom, you see Hispanic, Latino Americans, and African Americans at the very bottom. Okay, which these are the people who really built this country up. Okay, but here in America, in the United States, we have no place. Okay, this is not our rest, man. All right, so no matter how much you want to start a business or go into a career, it's going to fail here. Okay, and that's a part of the curses as well. All right, let's go right here. It says and I got, this is all through the spirit. What's that? I believe that's. Bear with me 1 second. Let's find this precept. It says this is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." So yeah, you can't get comfortable here in America. It's not your rest. You're getting oppressed. No matter how you look at it, we're being oppressed. Over here in the like Isaiah 42 and verse 22, it says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They in a big hole, in a pit that we're in is here in America, man. Okay, we were brought here to be slaves. We were never brought here to excel." It says, "They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore." Right? These nations, they all sided together in our destruction. They wasn't about helping us, and it's all about destroying us, man. In the NLC it says, "But his own people have been robbed and plundered, enslaved, imprisoned, and trapped." And who makes up the majority of the people in the prison system here in America? You so-called Negroes. Not to mention, slavery. And a lot of them jakes deserve to be in there for the shit that they done did. But you gotta ask yourself, where does that come from? Because we wasn't always a savage-like people. Okay, it came from slavery, bro. Oppression. You find out about we all know about the crack epidemic where Esau, he pushed drugs into our community that got Drake, out of their minds. What happened to Black Wall Street? They burned it down, and many other, prominent, so-called black neighborhoods, man. All right, so these devils, they really, do everything they can to keep us at the bottom, and yet we rise. Okay, they buried us, but they didn't know that we were seeds. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be on top. We're going to be the next world power, and that's what they hate to see. That's what they don't want to see. All right, it says, "They are fair game for anyone and have no one to protect them, no one to take them back home." You see, we are fair game unto everyone. Okay, and everyone takes advantage of us. We're the pit of, we are the butt of everyone's joke. Okay, constantly oppressed, constantly at the bottom. All right, this is not by no coincidence, man. Okay, this isn't by no coincidence. It says going further in. Well, let's put in. Let's go over here. Okay, let's see. What I can spell this right? Perpetual. Yep. It says this is Isaiah. It's like Ezekiel, and I'll just get right to the point. It says Ezekiel chapter 35 verse 5, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." And that's what these devils do. They have a perpetual hatred, man. They hate you. Okay, and you will be a fool to sit here and think that they don't hate you. To sit here and think that was the past. It says, and because they still have systems in place to keep you at the bottom, to keep you on warfare and through. Verse 6, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth." So the Lord going to cut this place down. All right, and we're seeing the beginning of that. So America's fall is our rise. Okay, America's destruction is our salvation. In verse 5 in the NLT says, "Your eternal hatred." Okay, They have an eternal hatred for you. You know what eternal means? So like it means never ending. They've hated us from the beginning and they're going to hate us until the end. It says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for their sins, for all their sins. Right. So these devils, this is why you at the bottom. Okay, you're being oppressed. We're being oppressed. All right. Let's go to Psalms 83. Let's go to Psalms 83. And let's read it in the NLT. It says, a psalm of Asaph. O power, do not be silent, do not be deaf, do not be quiet, O power. Don't you hear the uproar of your enemies? And that's why they hate us, really, is because they hate the Most High. They hate our power, so they hate us. And the way of showing how much they hate us is, or how much they hate the Most High, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, is by showing, their hatred for us. All right. It says, don't you see that your arrogant enemies are rising up? They devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious ones, right? And, Jake couldn't even live in a prominent neighborhood for the longest time because of redlining. There's so much stuff that they do, okay, to keep Jake at the bottom. And they purposely target the so-called Negroes, the so-called black people here in America, which are, Judah, predominantly Judah, okay? And these other nations, they come here and they benefit and they get rich all off of the backs of Judah. But they do that because Judah is the head. So if you cast the head down, the whole body goes down with it, okay? And even our own people, to a certain degree, they rise up against us, So this is just a constant, and that's why the Lord said that He would raise the tents of Judah first. So when we was at the bottom of the bottom, and it was no fucking help, guess what happened? The Lord put the Spirit upon the tribe of Judah to wake up, okay, and thus now the other tribes are waking up, and now we're getting picked up out of this pit, out of this puddle, okay, this mud, this this filth. It says. Let me see if I can grab this real quick while it's on my mind. It says, I will reprove them. Yep. We go back to that. Let's go over here. I just don't want to forget it. It says, Psalm, this is all through the Spirit, This is all through the Spirit. It says, Psalm chapter 83, verse 3, it says, they devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious ones. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We will destroy the very memory of its existence. And this is why you see us so on fire, because we're trying to bring our memory back into existence. We're trying to get the hell up out of here. We're trying to get it from under the foot of these devils. There is no other way. There is no other way, man. Okay, no matter what you do here, you're getting taxed, oppressed, okay, beat down, ostracized. We are never going to have it right on this side, okay? That's why the Lord has to come back and make it right. And that's what He's about to do. It says, yes, this was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you. This is what they did. They signed treaties as allies against us. So they don't agree on anything. But what they do agree on is keeping us at the bottom, keeping Jake lost. It says these Edomites, the Ishmaelites. So what was that? Edomites, white people, Ishmaelites, the Arabs, okay? Moabites, the Chinese, the Hagarites, okay? I believe that's some Africans, Jebusites, the Ammonites, Japanese, the Amalekites, which is the so-called Jewish people, the people of Philistia and Tyre, more Hamites. It says Assyria has joined them too, and his allies with the descendants of Lot, and and it goes on, but that's the point, okay? And this is how they keep us, at the bottom. This is how they, are destroying us left and right every chance they get, keeping us in subjection under their rule. It says, Psalm 50, verse Verse 20, it says, Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as and one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's reproving them, through us as we're rebuking them. The prophets are out there on the street corners. And it says he is reproving, or he is setting us in order before their eyes. And that's what they hate to see. Okay? We ain't no more niggas, thugs, gangbangers, like you got niggas in Israel. We them niggas. Bro, we ain't no fucking niggas, bro. This ain't about being a nigga. Get out of that nigga spirit and come back to being an Israelite, a priest, a god, lowercase g. It says, Now consider this, ye that forget the Most High, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Right, so our only deliverance is BAHASHAM Yahawashi. So we have to acknowledge BAHASHAM Yahawashi in these last days, come back to him in truth and sincerity, so we can, Lord willing, be delivered. Because, if we leave it to Esau, bro, we're going to stay at the bottom. If we leave it up to these other nations, we're going to stay at the bottom. You see how they ain't let the Chinese people go build it in their communities? Why? Because they ain't want them to benefit off of them. But they say, yeah, go over there and build up over them niggas. So there will never be another Black Wall Street again. So there'll never be another Lake Lanier, which is which is over it's an actual lake over a former black town, so-called black town that was flooded out. Anytime they seen Jake prospering, they come and kick your ass down. That happens to us all the time, bro. You start doing good, you start coming up. Hey, these nations are coming to put a foot on your neck to keep you at the bottom. So they say lift yourself up by your bootstraps, but the whole time, motherfucker, every time you try to, they taking your boots. So we in hell, man. And this is why when you see brothers on fire the way they're on fire, because we trying to get the fuck up out of here, bro. This is the only way. This is the only way. Shalom, Kamashar Allah, Baba Ball.
That's why I survived the lake, for this very moment right here. Once I hit the water, once my head went under the water, I heard a voice say to me, Chastity, you're under the water. I don't know why I was saved that day. Everything happened for a reason, you know what I mean? I did the people a disservice, not even knowing my history, you know what I mean? Not even knowing the history, but knowing the history.
September 8th, 1912.
This county was cleansed of all black people.
And because of a lie, it was taken away. It was stolen away, you know what I mean? And destroyed. I'm not ever going to call it Lake Lanier again. It will always be Oscarville out of my mouth. But I think we should come as a people just to pay homage to our people. Because why are we afraid? I didn't pass away. I got saved.